Okay, let's get things sorted. Now I need the live chat up and running. If I could find it first of all. There we are. And need to go there. Thank you very much. And we got the live chat. Excellent. Right. Hello everyone. It's Spurs Rail here, and welcome to another Train Sim World live stream. Or Train Sim World 2 live stream. For today's stream, I thought we'd pop back to the United States of America, and we're going to wind back the clock to the late 1970s / early 1980s, because we are on quite a nice route, actually, a route that I have a fond admiration of, and that is the Clinchfield Railroad in Kentucky and Virginia. So let's go into the journey mode and conduct some duties. So what we're going to do is a northbound coal run and a southbound manifest. So let's start with the northbound coal service here. There we are. Excellent. Okie doke. Here we are. Right. Operate this extra coal service northbound as far as Elkhorn City. Right. So let's get the auxiliary systems up and running. Step lights on. The headlights on. Need the reverser in. If I could find the reverser. There's the reverser. Number 1, I think. Gauge lights need to be activated. Cut out to freight. Lead or dead. Right, let's put on some lights. And I think I'm all good to go. We'll just let the brakes warm up. I think I've got 3, so 3 locomotives. Okay. Well, I'll just check the switches, see if we're all good to go. Always best to check before you leave, and that is the reason why you should check. As you saw there, I had to change it. So we're going from here, which is down the yard, all the way to Elkhorn City. So let's get going. We'll get moving eventually. It's going to take a bit of time to just come off the brakes. I'm going to leave it on like that. It'll be fine. Honestly, it'll be fine. It's not the end of the world. I've seen worse. Come on. Brakes are off. Ish. Right, I may have to wait a little bit more, I think. The brakes are released, but the brake pressure is nowhere near high enough, so we're going to be waiting here a fair while, I'm afraid, unless I can speed up the process. Why does it sound like we're moving? Right, we just have to wait, I think. Oh, I think I might have done it wrong, actually. I'm not too sure. Let me start that again. I may have done the wrong... I think I've done the procedures correct, but just in the wrong order. Hang on. What was the trick of doing it? Let's just do that there. Turn it on there. Headlights on. Happy days. Select the lever to number 3, the gauge lights on. Now, right, what do we have to do this time? I think we have to release the brakes first. Yeah, that sounds better. Much better. Looks more positive. Certainly the brake pressure is going up, which is good. So I think we could get moving. There we go, much better. Right, let's just do the switch. One miscreant little switch. There we are. And that one there. No, that's already done. Okay. We're moving. That's what I like to see. Off we go. Best turn off the bell, otherwise it breaks. Annoying thing with these horns, particularly on the Clinchfield of the SD40, the horns are in such a bad broken state. If you keep pressing them for so, if you keep pressing them at every single crossing you come across, the horn will break, and basically you'll come to a point where I press the horn button and there'll be no horn no horn sound emerging from the horn, so which is irritating. Right, now we can increase the throttle to maximum. It's going to be a long old trip, 2 trips in fact, so yeah, by no means a challenge, that's for sure. By no means a challenge. Just checking the volume, make sure that everyone can hear me. I didn't do my usual pre-flight checks before I departed to Dant. Never mind, it works, so that's all I need to know. We're going a bit too fast. Let's come off the gas. Will J, the Row Fana, hey, how are you? Welcome, nice to see you, hope you're well. So what is our consist for today, you may be asking, or tonight, tomorrow, whenever you're watching this, is some loaded Clinchfield coal hoppers. That's what we've got. Hope everyone's had a good weekend so far that is tuning in. I've just watched a very good penalty shootout between Liverpool and Chelsea in the League Cup final. What was it, 21 penalties? Extraordinary. Making sure all of the brakes are off. The brake pressure gauge is still taking time to build. It's at 84. I think that's good. But I've done enough videos on Clinchfield Railroad in my timetable series, so I certainly have enough experience of driving a train on the Clinchfield. Certainly a very nice looking route, that's for sure, or route. Particularly in the distance with these, huge forests on the hillside and rock formations, and certainly has the scale, that's for sure. There's another crossing. That's the third one we've encountered already on this run. Got a nice cup of tea with me. I just had some custard for dessert this evening. It was lovely. Haven't had custard in ages. Ah, lovely. Shooter Simulations, hey, how are you? Welcome. Just pulling some coal tonnage over the Appalachian Mountains on Clinchfield. If you're new watching for the first time, I do streams on a weekly basis on a Sunday and a Monday evening. Mainly Train Sim World content, but now and again I may focus on some other content. That is, if I feel like it. Oh, it's lovely. Right, we are going to encounter, I think, the longest tunnel on the journey so far, so let's go. Into the darkness we go. There we are. We're really struggling to get up to speed. I'm wondering if there's a brake that's still kind of on or something. I'm just starting to question that in my mind. I mean, we have got 3 locomotives at my disposal. Is there one at the back? No, there isn't. How many have we got? Excuse me, and I consist 41 coal hoppers. It's quite a lot. Shooter Simulations, have you ever tried the Creators Club? No, I haven't. I don't really plan to, really. Creators Club, not at all in my interests. Certainly the layout looks good from the screenshots, and I'm sure it would be good for some people, but personally it's not my kind of thing. I mean, I haven't even touched. I haven't touched the scenario planner. I haven't made a single livery in the game on the livery designer. So yeah, Creators Club doesn't offer much for me, really. I'm just not a very good creative person. My artistic skills are 0. And a scenario, I don't really like scenario planner, really. Just doesn't feel complete for me. If they added some features in which you can enable not just going from point A to point B, but maybe enabling some shunting or switching, or loading or unloading certain types of freight trains and so on and so forth, that would be cool. But it doesn't have it, so yeah, it doesn't have much interest for me. But anyway, I think the reception has been mainly positive. I mean, some people have questioned, I think I saw the other day someone was putting on the train SimWorld community page on Facebook, that a First Great Western livery, the actual First Great Western liveries that was meant to be in Great Western Express before the brand was it ditched? I think it was ditched, wasn't it, for Great Western Railway? And it was sneakily put up by a Dovetail employee, and then people were like, oh, you could download this. This is the actual First Great Western livery that the PC players can only have at that time. And it's now available for us console users. And then it came to a point where everyone tried to download it and subscribe to it or whatever, and it wasn't there at all, or it just didn't work anymore, because the thing with the Creators Club is it is being policed heavily by Dovetail. If there's anything that is not meant to be there, be that licenses or so on and so forth, then they will take it down with the click of a finger. So yeah, I can understand that to some degree, why Dovetail would do that, but at the same time I suppose it takes away some creative freedom for people that prefer brands that are not technically licensed or a part of the Creators Club. There were some brands that were missing, like Great Western Railway for the liveries. What else? British Rail was a surprise one, but then again, I presume it's down to the collectors of those locomotives, or the West Somerset Railway, for example, their stock. I suppose Dovetail needs permission from West Somerset Railway to, have their stock being customised visually. Just thinking of other ones. CSX, I think, was a surprise. They're the only big USA brand or freight brand that is not part of this livery Creators Club thing. What else? I'm just thinking. MRCE, a freight brand in Germany. I was going to say Southeastern, but they actually no longer exist. The franchise that runs, I think, Southeastern services between London and Faversham or Ramsgate, wherever, I think the government stripped them of their license. I'm not sure why, or the franchise of it. I'm not sure why. So, yeah, Southeastern was an obvious one because of what's happened in the real world with the government and Southeastern, or something like that. I'm not entirely sure of the details. That's what I remember seeing on the news. It was a long time ago, though. Now we need to get on the brakes a bit more, I think. That should do the job. There we go. Let's take a look at the chat. I'm pretty hyped about the 2 American routes coming out, says Shooter Simulations. Yeah, when they come is another story. But yeah, I mean, the only one we've seen is, of course, so far Horseshoe Curve, which has been delayed. It was quite a few weeks ago that they said that it was delayed. Skyhook needed more time to develop it or clean up the route, I suppose, and the release screenshots, it didn't look entirely rosy. There were some glaring things missing, like I think at the actual Horseshoe Curve there was a road missing, I think, which leads to the small little facility in which you can watch the trains go by. That was absent. Maybe I think they could just do a little bit more work to the rolling stock, in particular the interior of the ES44AC, and just the wagons as well, and the freight cars or the coal hoppers. Just make them look a bit different, please. Or maybe add some new ones, would be nice. As far as the Harlem line goes, I have mixed feelings on it. I do like the Harlem line itself. Grand Central Terminal is one of the most iconic railway terminals in the world, which is awesome. And it's in, the Harlem line is mostly within the island of Manhattan. It's just the rolling stock I'm a bit 50-50 on. I'm not sure what rolling stock is used now on the Harlem line. I will be completely honest with you, I'm not sure. So yeah, the M7 and the M3 don't really excite me, but if Dovetail is going to introduce some changes to it, other than the visual changes, maybe some changes to the audio of those multiple, is it electric multiple units? I think it is electric multiple units. It would be very nice to see. So I may pick it up. Harlem line is a bit of a 50-50. I need more evidence to see if it's worth picking up. But Horseshoe Curve, I may pick it up. I'll have to wait and see. "18 miles to go. We're flying along. We're struggling to get down to the speed limit at the moment. Put on quite a bit of brake. We're just not getting down in time or enough." 25-mile-per-hour speed limit coming up, so we definitely need to get down to within the confinements of that speed limit, or 26 even. I don't mind, as long as we get down to it, that's fine, but we're taking certainly a while to get to it. As you can hear, it's quite windy conditions outside. I mean, the Clinchfield Railroad in real life, which is now I think the CSX, is it Kingsport subdivision or something like that, I'm not sure. Yeah, just in reality, like, I'd just love to go there in the spring, summer or autumn time, like, just the wildlife and the visual vistas in real life. I mean, the natural beauty of it it's just fantastic. I really like it. I've seen videos of it, and the sounds, the atmosphere, it's right up my street. I really like it. So yeah, hopefully when more countries get pandemic, then hopefully or their pandemic situations, I should say, hopefully I might be able to go to the US and yeah, experience some of these virtual routes in real life. That'd be quite cool. So the Long Island, the Northeast Corridor, Clinchfield, Sandpatch Grade, Sherman Hill, there's loads of them I'd love to experience in real life. But it's not just the railways, they're just places in America I want to experience in general. New York, Miami. I'm mainly a city person. I was born near the city. I lived in London for quite a portion of my childhood. So when my mum run a beauty salon. So yeah, a lot of places to explore. I'm going on to France next month, so that should be fun, providing there's no further restrictions, of course. Rather be safe than sorry, as the old saying goes. Shooter simulations. So the Creators Club, I'm not an artist myself, so I just like to download liveries. Fair enough. That's understandable, it's reasonable. Need to get under the speed limit. $17 miles to go. Yeah, I mean, I still think the Creators Club needs a lot of work. Some people have reported that when they try to subscribe to either a scenario or a livery, that thing they've then downloaded doesn't appear on the specific route that livery or scenario was created for. That locomotive is not there. It's not. So yeah, there's a few issues that need ironing out, that's for sure. One thing I think needs, to me, it needs to be looked at quite significantly is the photography system in the game. Just taking a screenshot and uploading it, not really my kind of thing. I mean, I wish we could have some more customization tools to that, because I really like photography. I do a lot of car photography in Gran Turismo Sport, and the tools on there are just unbelievable. Yeah. The features you use, be it, you can pan the camera and play with the focus. You can have filters. You can customize those filters. Very specific colors. It's just fantastic. So I think Dovetail need to focus soon, if not in the next Train Sim World game, the photo system, because they've done pretty well on the scenario front for now ish and the livery designer aspect, they've done a remarkable job on that. I've come a long way with the livery designer, so now I think it's the time to pay attention to like a photography system, or for just a standard screenshot thing. I mean, even the graphics when you take a screenshot don't look that impressive, but that's just my personal opinion. I mean, you could obviously do that another way by taking the screenshot via the PlayStation controller or the Xbox controller, or by screenshotting it on the keyboard of a PC. But yeah, work needs to be done. Miguel Cabrera, hey, how are you? I like the game on the PS4. That's good to hear. Glad you like it in the game on the PS4. Or glad you like the game on PS4. Just trying to concentrate on getting this train down to speed. I'm nearly at full service here. I just don't feel something is quite right with these brakes. I think we're going to have a problem when we get near to Elkhorn City, trying to slam on the brakes. Is that a tree that just nearly fell down there? I swear I saw a tree almost fall down. It's odd. I know it's a windy day, but it's a bit much. The next speed limit coming up is 30 miles per hour. Shooter simulations, I might pre-order Gran Turismo 7. Yeah, I'm absolutely excited. Believe me, I am unbelievably excited for Gran Turismo. I think I pre-ordered the 25th anniversary edition months ago. I think I pre-ordered it in September, October. I was looking through my Amazon app the other day just to look for things that were on discount that I previously saved on my wish list, and one of them was Gran Turismo 7, and I thought, I swear I pre-ordered that. And then I looked on the orders, and there was Gran Turismo 7, the special edition. I was like, wow, I didn't realise I pre-ordered it. Because if you try and pre-order the special edition, or whatever you call it, 25th version now on Amazon, you won't get it. It's out of stock. But of course you can purchase it digitally, the normal version or the special version. But they're not cheap. That's for sure. Even the standard version is crazy. I think a PS5 version is nearly In the UK, I think it's nearly close to 60 to 70 pounds, which is ludicrous for a game. It's unbelievably expensive. Let me just check how much it is at the moment. I'm just going to look at the standard version of Gran Turismo 7, right? Just take a look. Got to type it in first. GT7. Okay, it's at a discount. It's gone from £70 to 65. Blimey. It's a lot of money. The problem I have is I have no idea how much the special edition actually was. I can't remember how much it is. It's been that long since I've pre-ordered it. Yeah, but nearly £70. That is a ridiculous amount of money for a game. I mean, the PS4 version is just as expensive as nearly £55. It's a lot of money. A lot of money. But I think the good thing about Gran Turismo is that the additions they add to the game after its release, new tracks, cars and features, it's all free, which is just fantastic. I wish other video game makers could follow that. I wish Dovetail could do that. It would be nice if they could. Make all the routes and loco add-ons for free. It would be fantastic. Save a lot of money. But it's the way it is, I'm afraid. That's the way the world works. Can't have it all your own way. But in terms of Gran Turismo 7, I think I may make a couple of videos on it on my channel. Certainly there's two I'm going to make. I'm not going to reveal to them what they are. I want to keep it under wraps, keep it a little surprise. And certainly one of the videos I will do will be a first on the channel, that's for sure. I'm not going to do like a full playthrough of Gran Turismo 7. I just don't have the time. Well, I have time to play it, but not time to make a video on it. Edit it and put it all together and do a voiceover and all this kind of stuff. Right, we've got a speed limit of 15. Oh my lord, I misjudged that. I thought it was 25. Whoops. Down. Down the speed. Are we crossing the tracks? We are indeed. Cross. Got it on full service now. Come on. Down. Please, game. Train, not game. That'll do. 15. I'll take that. If Dovetail does add multiplayer in TSW, what do you think it'll be like? Asks simulation shooters. No, shooter simulations. Sorry, didn't mean to get your name mixed up there. I think it'd be a disaster. I just have this horrible vision of the Dovetail Live servers being unbelievably bad. Like kind of EA Sports, FIFA, Ultimate Team levels of badness with the servers. That's what I can imagine. And even if multiplayer came to the game, I wouldn't even touch it. Not Train Sim World and multiplayer to me just doesn't sound right. And if it did come, like I said, I wouldn't even touch it. Not at all. I'll probably try it once and that's it. I do play multiplayer though on other games. I play multiplayer on Star Wars Battlefront, GT Sport when I had it. I've still got GT Sport, but obviously I don't need it now because Gran Turismo 7's coming along pretty soon. I don't do any FIFA Ultimate Team stuff, not interested in that one bit. What else? That's it, I think, pretty much. So yeah, not much of a multiplayer person, but there's a couple of multiplayer games I like. I did Fortnite. I do play now and again. I did play Call of Duty, that free multiplayer one. Yeah, I couldn't last 5 seconds on the map, so kept getting shot immediately after starting it off. Yeah, it's ridiculous how quickly you can get shot and killed on Call of Duty. World of Warships I play now and again. Uh, 15 miles to go until we reach Elkhorn City. Hasn't been that much traffic on the route today. Well, I mean, it's not really a full-scale timetable, is it? I mean, 50 services in total? A huge portion of them are almost like scenarios in itself, going on the various branches, because you've got, if I can remember them off the top of my head, you've got, what have you got? The McClure Spur here. God, can't remember. Hang on, let me have a look. I have a little list somewhere hiding what the branches were, just in case I start talking about it. That's the first Greenbrier turn, or Greenbrier branch. This one is that's not the McClure shifter, no. What is it? Venora turn, I think. And then finally, I think this one here is the first Moss turn, or something like that. The Moss branch. I think I've got that correct. Most likely not, but yeah, but I think if you add the branches and the main line together, I think it's the longest route in the game, or in the series, with 66 miles altogether you add. So, yeah, that's a lot of miles. Shooter simulations. Have you ever heard of Run 8 Train Simulator? I've heard of it. But yeah, I can't play it, so not really interested in it. I haven't got a PC, so yeah, I've heard of it and it sounds promising, but yeah, if I ain't got it, then, and I'm not going to get it, then yeah, doesn't really interest me. Bobby, hey, how are you? Welcome. Just having some fun on the Clinchfield Railroad. Quite a challenging run so far, I must admit. More so than I was expecting. Into the darkness we go. And out of the tunnel we come. There we are. Once again, pristine conditions, aside from the wind. Blue skies and some bit of cloud. I dare not touch the throttle, just in case the grade suddenly starts to get a little bit steeper. Well, going down, that is. If we have a steep grade going up in a minute or two, then obviously I'll apply the throttle to maximum. But yeah, cruising along at this speed, I don't mind. Caleb's Rail Films. Hey, how are you? Hope you're well. Now I can. What was your question? Would it be awesome if they did a route in Australia? Yeah. South Australia, one of the longest preserved lines in the world. That would be nice. Yeah, I think a route in Asia in general, I think, will be very much welcomed. A candidate for me for a route in Asia would certainly be Japan and the Shinkansen network, or the Tokaido Shinkansen in particular. But yeah, a route in Australia. They've got some good railways over there down under. Bobby, when are they going to add BNSF? I don't know when they're going to add BNSF. Well, I mean, the actual brand technically isn't in the game. They've just given consent to liveries of real world BNSF locomotives can be created. So the orange paint scheme basically is allowed in the Creators Club and the livery designer. In terms of a route that concerns BNSF, there's been nothing said of that. Nothing. But I think in the Creators Club there is already some BNSF style liveries, be it past or present, that's been created in the Creators Club. So I'm sure you can go and have a look there and pretend to make your BNSF fantasies come true. But yeah, but it's quite good that there are some new brands being added to the series in terms of given certification of using their brand liveries, be it past or present in the game. Some new ones in the States. BNSF is an obvious one. NJ Transit in New Jersey. In England there's quite a few. I don't think there's any new ones in Germany. Not too sure. Don't think there is. Excuse me. "13 miles to go until we reach the terminus of this journey, which is Elkhorn City." Amtrak, I think I saw you flash past there. Yeah, Amtrak. Hey, how are you? Welcome. Almost forgot to say hello to you, but welcome, my friend. Welcome. Caleb, Rail Films doing well, thank you. Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, I'm keeping well, thank you. Caleb is loving the Creators Club with the awesome American liveries plus the European ones too, like the Rio Grande and Burlington North. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying it. It's had a few hiccups, the Creators Club, as I've seen online, but yeah, I'm glad it is serving its purpose well, that's for sure. Bobby, have one SD70AC SC, and I sub to you. Thank you, Bobby. Appreciate it. Shooter simulations, well, Spurs, they do have a lot of heritage liveries that are allowed in the Creators Club. That's certainly true. But certainly Dovetail is keen to monitor the Creators Club in terms of what can be created and what can't. Scenarios obviously is complete freedom. It's just the liveries that are being a bit more policed by Dovetail. It's perfectly reasonable. Some brands don't want to be featured in the Creators Club. Fair enough. Perfectly entitled to. It's their business. Last thing we want is brands like Great Western Railway getting upset over their brand being used and in the livery club, and yeah, not in their contractual agreement with Dovetail, and next minute they'll walk away, which is certainly something we don't want. Cruising along rather nicely now. Very good. Bobby has 2 cats. Oh, I have just 1 cat, Bobby. He's called River. He's very old and stupid, but yeah, very good to have around. Great company. Most of the time he just sleeps during the day now. He hardly ever goes out. When he was younger, my cat River, he used to go out all the time in the fields where I used to live. He used to go out at night and, well, literally be a wild cat. I remember he bumped into a black cat and almost brought it home. Glad we didn't take that black cat that day. Yeah, but my cat River's doing well. Caleb's Rail Films, what service are you on, a Manifest or a Coal Extra? I think I'm doing a Coal Extra. Let me just check. Yeah. Clinchfield Railroad Extra 3001 northbound coal, loaded coal that is, going from Dant to Elkhorn City. I commenced that service at 11:12 a.m. Found it in the journey mode, so there you are. That's something for you to do. Try and see who can complete the service first, me or you. Obviously I've got a ridiculous head start, but maybe points wise, action points, you'll probably get better than me, that's for sure. Shooting simulations for an American horn at crossings, it usually... Yeah, I get asked this, I get told this hundreds and hundreds of times about the correct horn procedures using at the railroad crossings. But because I know this horn can get broken, that's why I don't tend to press it quite a few times at a crossing, just in case it goes bang. Because what happens is if you keep pressing the horn button X amount of times on the SD40, because of this is using an old broken crappy horn sound, you'll get to a point where you'll press the horn and then there's no sound. So to try and make sure the horn lasts in this stream, I'm only going to press it just once. One long tone will do the job. I'm sure you can understand that. Daniel's Trains UK official. Good evening. What do you think of the Creators Club? I haven't tried it, and I don't really tend to. Creators Club and scenario designer and livery designer is not my thing. Why? Because I'm just mainly rubbish at it. I have no artistic sense, absolutely none. So yeah, Creators Club isn't really my thing, but from what I've heard and from what I've seen, it's had a solid start. Overall, I think it's had a positive response. Of course, there's been a few liveries that people want to get hold of, but possibly can't due to Dovetail policing the livery side of the Creators Club, but certainly the scenario aspect is living up to its expectations. And overall, I think the Creator Club has so far fulfilled its purpose. Had a bit of a rocky start when it first came out because everyone was on it, and I think the Dovetail Livers went bang, but yeah, after a bit of tweaks by Dovetail on their side with the Dovetail Live thing. If you have a Creators Club, I think is running well-ish. I think the only problem I've had people come to me and ask is why can't they download, or they subscribe, they press the subscribe button to download either a livery or scenario, then that thing they've downloaded is not appearing in a particular route or locomotive that they want to use in the game. So maybe that's due to not having the correct DLC, or maybe it's just not working, it's a bug. So even though I don't plan to use Creators Club and never will, overall I think it's been a nice addition, and people are pleased with it, and it's a free update. So yeah, what's not to love? Something free for everyone to have, which is welcome sight. Probably I wish they had real horns into the game. It would be nice if they could, but obviously that's due to the contraction reasons, or licensing reasons. It's not like you can just get a sound off the internet and just use it. I mean, you have to actually find the license holder of that horn, not just someone posting on YouTube, but the person who actually has the horn sound, be about a railroad or a collector of horns and what have you. Then need to contact them and get to a contractual agreement before putting it in the game. So yeah, it's not as easy as it sounds, or it could be done, but I think if Dovetail can at least try and get their audio department to match the real life horns, that'd be great. Ideally, what would be even better to have is an actual mod store for the game, not just mods for. They call it mods in what is it? The Creators Club is not really mods, is it? It's just downloads, really. An actual mod store where people that are allowed to upload things like graphics packages or horn mods, sound modifications to specific route, be that the atmospheric conditions or locomotive sounds, not just the horn, but maybe how they sound when you fire the engine up, or when you put the throttle on maximum, or when the brakes are applied fully. So yeah, that was something I would welcome, and I'll definitely use. But you can use it in the PC world, but I think for the console market it'll be pretty tricky, because I think the idea I have is something like maybe approaching the look and style of like Skyrim, Elder Scrolls 5. They have a mod system in their game that I think works really, really well, even though the game is very, very old now. The mods itself are just keeping that game ticking over, and I think Skyrim has had actually a next-gen update for the PS5 and the Xbox Series consoles, which is very impressive for a game that old. Caleb's Real Films, cool, thanks. I don't know about that one. I'll try my best. How do you record your videos on the console? I'm interested in doing it with my Xbox Series X, but don't know how. I don't know how you do it on an Xbox Series X, because I don't have one. The only console I have, Xbox-wise, is an old Xbox One S, and that really is on its last legs. I'm hardly touching it now, to be honest, just in case it blows up. PlayStation, it's I would say it's easy, but I use how do I make this easy sounding? I use a editing software from my sister's computer. That's how I do it, because my sister's really the main brain box when it comes to computers and editing skills and all that kind of stuff, because yeah, I think she works as a head of marketing at a local art gallery, so yeah, she has all the editorial skills, and all I do is apply the sound with the voiceovers. Actually, no, tell a lie. Actually, I do the thumbnails. I do the thumbnails. In terms of actually putting the thing together, I don't do that. Because anyway, even if I wanted to, I couldn't get a PC in my room because I haven't got enough room for a PC. And obviously I couldn't do it to an iPad or an iPhone because they're not compatible to the PlayStation 5. Well, technically you can actually charge your phone by plugging in the cable to the PlayStation 5, but other than that, it's not much use. So yeah, I'll leave my sister to do that kind of thing. Oh, just under 9 miles to go, and we've got a speed limit of 15 miles per hour. Hopefully we can get down to that speed soon. Shooter simulations, press the X button and you go. Okay, fair enough. Irish Rail Spotter, hey, how are you? Welcome, nice to see you. Just taking a run. I'll be doing another trip on the Clinchfield again after this run with Cole. I'll be going in the opposite direction. I think it's a southbound manifest train going from Elkhorn City to Dant Yard, but I'm keeping an eye on the time though, because time is not on my side this evening. I started only 3 minutes later than I said I was going to stream, which was 8:30 PM UK time. So started off pretty close to the time I indicated. Last week I was terrible. I started nearly 20 minutes, half an hour late. But yeah, in terms of the streams aspect, of course, if you'd enjoyed it, and if you're new watching a stream of mine for the first time, welcome. I make Train Sim World videos on a regular basis. If you did enjoy the stream, please give it a like. If you are new to the channel, then subscribe, because I do streams on a weekly basis, maybe not as intense or as consistently as others. But I do a couple of streams a week on a Sunday and a Monday evening. 8:30 PM UK times when I usually start a stream, and each stream tends to go from route to route or route to route, depending how you save at, of course, in Train Sim World 2. And occasionally I may try another game if I don't feel like playing Train Sim World 2. And now we need to get down that speed, my lord. It's a 15 mile per hour speed limit coming up. About time we get down the speed. Bobby has to go. Okay, Bobby, take care of yourself. See you next time. Big Boss Rail Fanner, hey Spurs. Hey Big Boss Rail Fanner, hope you're well. Welcome. Just doing some heavy coal and freight duties on Clinchfield. So far, so good. Ooh, don't slow down. Don't come to a stop. Come on, train. That's it. No. No, come on. Don't use full throttle, it will start spinning. No. Come on. Oh, just kept it moving. Whew, that was a scary one. That was a scary moment. Didn't want to come to a shuddering halt. Need to keep moving. That's better. Well, I'll cut the power at 10 miles per hour. There we are. That'll do. Big Boss Rail Fanner, I wanted the... Oh, how do you say that? Kanjan subdivision route to be made for Train Sim World 4-2. I don't know what that is, to be honest with you, but I presume that's in the States. In the United States, I'm completely guessing, of course. That's called a train was stalling. Oh, no, it wasn't stalling. It was just, I put on full brakes because I thought it was going to go massively over the 15 mile per hour speed limit, and doing that, I nearly brought the train to a complete stop. But thankfully we're up and running again, which is good. And very soon I'll have to apply the brakes again. I'll let it cruise for now. 8 miles to go exactly, or roughly, until Elkhorn City. But we're cruising along nicely. Big Boss Rail Fan, yeah it is. Oh, okay. The Cajun subdivision. Whereabouts is that then? What's that all about then? I presume it's a freight route or route. Shooter simulations. I also noticed that the US uses the bell when they enter the tunnel. Oh, do they? Okay, that's a first. I haven't heard of that one before. Well, if there's a tunnel, then coming up, then I'll turn the bell on for like 5 seconds. Big Boss, real fan of my favourite locomotive train. It's the Special Duty 40. Oh, the SD40-2. Which one? There's quite a few variations of it. There's the CSX one. Is that the only version there is? No, there's like another one, isn't there? Union Pacific one. That's it. So there's a couple of versions, not a lot actually. I presume you mean just the locomotive in general. Yeah, the SD40-2 is a reliable workhorse. Does the job. Good for switching and light freight operations. Big Boss. Oh, okay, just the SD40-2 in general. Yeah. Okay, Libs, rail films, that's all cool. I can put it together myself. That's what I do for a living. Nice to have siblings that can help out. Indeed it is. I'll explore alternatives of how I can record videos myself. I don't think I think the Xbox way of recording, I don't think is as good as I don't know, the PlayStation's way of recording. I think for the PlayStation you can record up to a full hour of footage, and you can toggle around with the resolution settings like 1080p and 60 frames or 30 frames, or 720p and 60 frames and 30 frames, and you can get to a full hour. Whereas I think with Xbox you can only record, I think it's with 1080p, I think it's 2 minutes max, and with 720p it's 10 minutes maximum. Well, at least that's when I last checked. Some time ago. Crazy Dash, what's up, Spurs? What's up, Crazy Dash? Nice to see you. Welcome. Just hauling some coal along the Clinchfield Railroad. We're doing another run going in the other direction when we get there to Elkhorn City. This time in the F7. An altogether different beast and challenge. So, trains, hey, how are you? We're getting all kinds of people here all of a sudden. They've all turned up. Where have you all come from? Oh yeah, Big Boss, Rail Fanner. I love hearing the MD locomotive going full nutshell. Oh yes, I love hearing the roar of the engines at maximum. Wonderful sound. Get that kind of AC/DC feeling. Shooter simulations, well, gotta go, so see you later, Spurs. Alright, shooter simulations, take care of yourself, have a good evening. Big Boss, Rail Fanner, the Canadian subdivision is a freight route for BNSF and Union Pacific heavy freight based in Southern California. Sounds interesting. Has it been made for World of Train Simulator? I imagine something like that would have been made. Sora Trains, I'm good, how are you? Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Had a nice weekend. Today just doing a bit of cleaning downstairs in the lounge, just rearranging some things on the wall, different paintings and pictures and so on and so forth, making it look a little better. Right, now we can come off the brakes, so we've got a speed limit of 30 miles per hour. Big Boss Rail Fan, BNSF is my favourite train company. Well, BNSF is certainly a huge brand in America, and certainly to have their, I suppose, I wouldn't say partnership, but giving the fact that BNSF have given clarification that you can recreate liveries of official BNSF liveries on locomotives, be that liveries past and present, so it opens the door maybe for a potential BNSF route. I mean, it's the only one that now has not got a route out of the big four, that's what I call it. So we have two routes from Union Pacific, technically free, with Peninsula Corridors, Union Pacific's 38-2 in there. You've got CSX with Sandpatch Grade, and then of course we got Norfolk Southern coming along with the Horseshoe Curve. So the only one that is missing now is BNSF. Bobby. Oh, Bobby's back. Oh, hello, Bobby. I thought you went. I thought you went off. Oh, he's come back. Oh, fair enough. Hello, Bobby. Again. Welcome. Again. 7 miles to go. Ish. Until Elkhorn City. Yeah, there's a few heavy freight routes that could be potentially in Train Sim World, be it in the far or not too distant future. There's quite a few, I suppose, especially from Train Simulator. There's obviously loads of candidates there. There's one I like is the Feather River Canyon, that kind of old school freight route in is it California, something like that, the Feather River Canyon. I'm not sure what time period that is exactly. I think it's in I'm going to take a punt, the 1960s? I'm not too sure, but that sounds like a good one. Another one that could potentially be on the carb. I quite like another Norfolk Southern route, one something like the I think it was the Southern N line, that kind of branch line style, almost Oakville subdivision type of route, where it's not too big, but there's loads of yards, loads of switching duties and all that kind of stuff. I really quite like that. Oakville subdivision was an exception. I'm not a huge fan of that itself. I think the execution was quite meh, not to the standard I thought that Dovetail would produce, but that's just my personal opinion. Another one we could have is one that I like is the Granger Hardlands in Kansas. Certainly got quite I suppose unique operations. particularly with those huge facilities, those big grain elevators and factories, facilities. That sounds really, well, it looks really, really cool. I think Dovetail released one, I think last year, wasn't it? Another Union Pacific route or something like that. The Tehachapi Pass, I think. I don't know where that is in America, but yeah, there's a few contenders, I suppose you could call it, but I would like to see. I mean, even though I'm not an American, but yeah, certainly the heavy freight routes are fascinating to me, not just from the actual driving perspective, but just the visual perspective, because you know, these heavy freight routes, particularly in remote areas like here in Clinchfield or in Pennsylvania with the Horseshoe Curve and what is it, sand patch grades in Pennsylvania, I think. Cane Creek and Sherman Hill, you know, these really remote areas with some, you know, the landscapes and the atmosphere of the nature. I really do like that. Maybe have like a freight route in a busy city. Now, which one, I don't really know, but I think one route I would like to see come back, not just Train Simulator, but this is from Train Sim World. I would love to see Northeast Corridor, New York, come back. With the DLC as well, with the cab car and the switcher, or VSW 1000R shunter. If they could bring that back, you know, in its upgraded form with the new visuals and performance characteristics of either the 38-2 or the Amtrak ACS 64, maybe even some changes to the cab car and the switcher as well, I would absolutely love that. Absolutely. I could technically cover Northeast Corridor New York in my timetable series at your service, but it's a bit old, which is a problem. editing wise. Recording it is I did try it I think 3 or 4 weeks ago, and yeah, sister's computer did not like Northeast Corridor New York. Don't know why, it just didn't like it. Maybe if I try and find a solution, not straight away, but maybe in the long term, yeah, could certainly be something to see. But yeah, I remember when I went on Train Sim World 2020 at that time, just to see what Northeast Corridor was like. My lord, the visuals are just so different. It's crazy, the difference in the visuals. I mean, the fact it's not in 4K, but it's also, you don't have the features that you'd expect. Not just the performance characteristics, but the visual side as well. You know, the fact you can't turn off motion blur, and you can't zoom in and out when you're in the exterior or external camera with the different type of control you have on your, well, controller or keypad if you're on a PC. So yeah, it was a bit of a shock, a bit of an eye-opener as to how much Train Sim World 2 has progressed from an overall gameplay package. Right, I need to look at the chat because I'm chatting away and can't keep up with the chat. Surprise, surprise. Sarah Trains, I'm afraid I'm going to have to leave you now as I have some work to do this evening for tomorrow. Okay, fair enough, Sarah Trains. You've probably gone already, but I'll see you next time. Take care. A Crazy Dash, if OSD went to Toronto and had Go Transit and VIA on it, it would be a phenomenal route. Go Transit, that's in Canada, I think. That's a punt, I'm guessing. Yeah, I think another Canadian route would, well, certainly one that needs to be better than Oakville Subdivision would be a welcome twist. Even if they added a locomotive to Oakville Subdivision, I think that may turn around my negative view on Oakville subdivision. Maybe have like a switcher or a shunter or something like that in the yards of Oakville. I think it's badly needed. It's very much doubtful we will have that, because I haven't heard a single thing of Oakville subdivision other than the upgrades it's going to have to be more on par with the more newer train sim world routes. But yeah, I think another Canadian route, be that freight or passenger or a mixture of both, would be welcomed by the Canadian public. Thierry Jenkins, hey, how are you? Nice to see you. Would be nice to have a Rio Grande route. Yes, that would be nice. I agree with you. Crazy Dash to Chappie Pass is in the Mojave Desert in California. Ah, right. I had a feeling one of them was in California. Maybe both routes I mentioned, Chappie Pass and Feather River Canyon's in California. I'm pretty sure Feather River Canyon's in California. Big Boss Rail fan of Dovetail Games to make the Cajun Subdivision Train Sim World 2 with BNSF and Union Pacific for BNSF Intermodal. I just want the JB Hunt Intermodal and Schneider National on BNSF Intermodals. Sounds like a good recommendation. Bobby, do you know how to save a haircut 2 bits? I've no idea. I don't know what that question's all about. Crazy Dash, I personally disagree. I recently replayed it and it's a really boring route. I think they should do Northeast Corridor New York to Philadelphia. Well, I mean, obviously the timetable is different to the Train Sim World 2 Northeast Corridor Boston Sprinter. It's obviously going to be different because the game is come leaps and bounds. The game is more advanced, so it can squeeze in more services, as Brighton kind of proved. Right, it's doable, albeit the game breaks. More variation, obviously the visuals, and yeah, but I really enjoy Northeast Corridor. Yes, it's not as busy as it probably should be, but I think it's a nice, decent package, personally. Crazy Dash, the Acela can reach 135 miles per hour on that route, and it sees up to 450 trains. Woo! It's a lot of trains. Big Boss Rail Founder for Union Pacific Intermodals, like an EMP or Pacer stack train or something like that. Yeah. Sounds ideal. Sounds cool. Whether that happens is another story. And we've got a speed limit coming up at 15, as we're not too far now from the end. I think I might have to do just one service instead of 2. I think I'll be. I think if I do another service going in the opposite direction, I think it'll be close to midnight, and it's nearly 5 to 10 in the evening, or 21:54 p.m. So yeah, I think I may just have to do one run, unfortunately. I was planning on 2, but I didn't think it would take this long, mainly because I'm talking away. I'm not absolutely at the speed limit, I'll admit that. Thierry Jenkins, new American passenger routes are needed. I missed a crossing, but never mind. Yes, we've obviously got one coming with the Harlem line, so slowly but surely more are being added. Like I was saying earlier, if they could bring Northeast Corridor New York, which is a mixture of passenger/freight, that would be a nice welcome return. That, of course, will boost the kind of passenger element to the USA routes in the game. E60 Guy 101, hey, how are you? Welcome. Great. Poorhouse, hey, how are you? Crazy Dash. Oh, he's saying hello to Crazy Dash. Poorhouse, what's up, my friend? What route is that? This is Clinchfield Railroad. Unless you're asking Crazy Dash a question, and I don't know. Right, time to get on the brakes, I think. Misa thinks. E60 Guy 101, a GP40 2W for Oakville subdivision. It's an interesting candidate. Didn't think of that kind of locomotive, to be honest with you. I always keep thinking of a switcher or a shunter for Canadian National, but yeah, no, sounds interesting. Unless what you're saying is a shunter or switcher, then. And obviously, yeah, I don't know much about Oakville subdivision, if any railroading at all in Canada. I will be very honest with you there. Thierry Jenkins, what's a Mexican freight route? Yeah, I think a route in Mexico would be interesting take. I mean, you could pick any kind of continent, could you? We could have a route in South Africa. We could have a route in Asia, be that Japan, Australia, New Zealand, South America, in Brazil or Argentina or something like that. So there's certainly a lot of scope to play with. Whether Dovetail get the licenses and produce those routes in all these different countries and continents is another story. Big Boss Rail Fanner, I live near Cajun subdivision in the high desert in Southern California with BNSF and Union Pacific only. Oh well, that must be good for you to live near there, so you can go out and rail fan and see the trains go by. Oh, Bobby, when are they going to add multiplayer? No idea. They may never add multiplayer. Who knows? No idea. Big Force rail fan. Imagine rail fanning in Northeast Corridor from Boston to Providence in reality, trying to catch 100+ passenger trains inbound and outbound. My other friend, Visions of Ed, would do that a lot. I'd love to go rail fanning in real life. I just don't have the time. I especially wouldn't do it now in the winter time here in England, that's for sure. Too cold. And the weather's never nice in the winter time. In England, it's always miserable, rainy and windy. And thundering. Crazy Dash has a friend that lives along the Boston Providence. Awesome. That'd be good. Must be good for him to see that in real life. He can literally play the game 1 minute and then look out the window or however far he lives from the Boston Sprinter and see a train go by in real life. Poorhouse Clinchfield is long. It takes a while to do. Yeah, it's a long old journey, that's for sure. It's a long old journey. Longer, this journey in particular. I didn't think it would take this long. Yeah, but just one run will do today. Never mind. Thierry Jenkins, I want Hamburg to Hanover in the game. Yeah, that is a good contender, especially with if they include one of the old ICE trains. I can't remember what it is, the ICE 2 or the ICE 1 or whatever it's called. Now that I would be interested in. I think the Frankfurt high speed in particular is one I would like to see brought to life in Train Sim World. I think it's an extension to one of the existing train simulator routes and I think having that complete, route or the extension, which is called Frankfurt High Speed, accomplishing I think it's the Köln-Tuchel-Blentz route or whatever it is called. I can't remember off the top of my head, but something like that I would really, really like to see. Or maybe a Berlin to Leipzig. That those two in particular interest me. I think it's Köln-Tuchel-Blentz, and then with the extension to Frankfurt, I think it's called that. I'm not too sure. I will be honest with you there. My memory is not very good. Under 3 miles to go. Crazy Dash Mojave is pronounced Mojave, and Cajun is pronounced Cajon. Cajon. Okay, Mojave and Cajon. Yeah, again, apologies for my American pronunciations of some routes or locations. As you know, I'm not American, so yeah, apologies if I get some pronunciations wrong. But thank you for that, Crazy Dash. Poor house. Yeah, gosh, yeah, it should be way more people first of all, and any wide trains and constantly pulling up and out. My mother is from New York. That's one of my homies. Oh, glad she could see some NY trains. E60 Guy 101, BNSF X SPSF Dick. Fair enough. Don't know what that means, but I presume you don't like BNSF and you like SPSF, which I've never heard before. Terry Jenkins, an ICE2, I believe. I thought it was something like that. Crazy Dash, one major accuracy with NEC New York is that there are too many Amtrak services. That's a surprise. I believe there's 140 in the game. In reality, there are 76 trains. They also certain rolling stock missing, such as Viewliners. Viewliners. What are they? Are they coaches or cab car of some sort? I'm not too sure what Viewliners are. I'll be honest with you there, but it's interesting. I never knew that there was too many Amtrak services, but I suppose can't really complain. I suppose I'd have as many as possible just to make the route feel a bit more lively. That's just my view. If it makes the game better, then I wouldn't complain. I wouldn't care if it's realistic or not, as long as it looks good, adds variation, and looks busy and looks fun, then to me that ticks all of the boxes. Terry Jenkins, oh no, Crazy Dash has another thing to say. Also, only Northeast Regional and Keystone services are represented. Oh, I see. Thierry Jackson, I'm English and I don't have much knowledge of other countries' trains. No, neither do I. Don't worry. You're not the only one. Right, now we're getting on a steep incline as we are nearing slowly the end of our journey. I don't know how long the stream's been going on for, but an hour and 30 minutes roughly, so not the longest stream I've done on my streaming comeback in Train Sim 2, that's for sure. Certainly the grade, I think it's just got a tiny bit steeper, now 1.2%. I'll apply the brakes just to try and keep the speed under control-ish. E60 Guy 101, I would make an add-on for the Clinchfield. Yes, Clinchfield Railroad. Oh, okay. I thought you meant a locomotive add-on. When CSX took over, we featured the SD40, the SD45, the C40-AW when it was brand new. F7 all in CSX livery. You know what? I wouldn't be surprised if they make something like that, you know, because they have kind of made, well, they made the diesel legends of Great Western, didn't they? Where you just basically got the old school locomotives that they had in the game, the BR locomotives. The 52 was an exception because they modelled the exterior differently with a new livery and there's badges on the side. Yeah, and basically they just made a gameplay pack by using some old locomotives. I wouldn't be surprised if they made a gameplay like a modern CSX gameplay pack for Clinchfield, where they probably won't introduce any new locomotives, but they'll introduce a new timetable and some scenarios and stuff, and some tutorials, I imagine, to have some CSX gameplay in Clinchfield, which I'm sure wouldn't be ideal for some people. They would prefer, you know, some new toys to play with if they were to introduce that. But yeah, that actually could be a possibility. You know, slap in the C40-AW or something like that, a GP38 or an SD40-2. Maybe have some tweaks to it, you know, to the visuals and maybe the sound. That would be nice for a change. I wouldn't be surprised if they had that. I wouldn't be surprised. Wouldn't be surprised. I do apologise if I can't keep up with the chat. I am trying my absolute best. This train is not slowing down. It needs to start slowing down very, very soon. Come on, get on. Get under that speed. Come on. Slowly, it's resisting, but it's slowly coming down. Okay. In real life, Crazy Dash, NEC New York to C's Northeast Regional, Keystone, Vermonter, Crescent, Pennsylvanian, Acela, Palmetto, Mito, Silver Star and Silver Meteor. I probably forgot one or two, but that's most of them. That's a lot of services. Presume they're the long distance ones that take days to go from state to state or crossing various states. Those long distance ones. I presume that's what you mean. Crazy Dash Viewliners are sleeper cars. Okay. Sleeper cars. Thierry Jenkins, or is it Jenkins? Jenkins? However you say it. SPSF was a failed measure between Southern Pacific and Santa Fe. Oh, okay. Wonder what happened there. Presume some contractual reasons or financial reasons stopped it from happening, or maybe just some disagreement from either side. E60 Guy 101, I like both, but SPSF was a failed company between Southern Pacific and Santa Fe, but failed. I like BNSF. Yep. I don't know much about this SPSF alliance. I don't know much about Southern Pacific or Santa Fe, to be honest with you, but yeah, I didn't realise they tried to venture a partnership there. Interesting. Or merge together. Big Boss Rail Fanner put in 30 minutes. But we also get monster trains, like over 15,000 feet. 15,000. Good lord. Do you mean 15,000 foot or feet? That's one of them. I presume he means feet. Yeah, it has to be 15,000 feet. Blimey. 15,000. Blimey. 1 mile to go, and we've done it. My lord. It's taken forever. It's almost taken 2 hours, but an hour and... Blimey, an hour and 40 minutes nearly. Blimey. It's been a long old journey. I'm glad I'm not doing another one. It really will. It will take me into the early hours of the next day. A new week will begin. You definitely need to get on the brakes now. My god. Brake. Please, please, please. Or grades produce, please. Get less steeper. I beg. Poor House, how come you're not playing the club thing? I like the route. The route's already in the game, personally. The reason why I'm not playing the Creators Club thing is, well, I haven't touched the livery designer. I've never made a livery, the livery designer. I've never made one. Scenario planner doesn't really interest me. So yeah, that's why I'm not using Creators Club. I mean, I'm never going to make a livery. I never will use a scenario, created scenario thing, be that made by myself or other people. It just doesn't interest me. But certainly the response or the reaction to the Creators Club has been overall pretty positive. Thierry Jenkins, I'll just call you Thierry, it's easier. I do like the BNSF livery. Yeah, BNSF livery is quite cool. That orange livery is certainly out there, pretty striking. Orange and a bit of yellow, and obviously the black BNSF logo. Thierry Jenkins, SPSF, failed Southern Pacific, joined Burlington Northern. Oh. On YouTube there's a great video from someone called Peter Bible. Never heard from him before. Peter Bible W. Oh, I'll make a note of that. Peter Bible W, presume with lowercase w there. Where are you on the map? Right at the top of the map, that's where I am. Right here. Just about to enter the yards of Elkhorn City. If I can keep this train under control, this was my main worry. Thierry explaining the merger. Okay. Merger. I've made maritime livery for the 66. It's rubbish, but I tried my best. Well, as long as you tried your best, that's all you can do. Never give up. Don't put yourself down. Crazy Dash, oh yeah, you got to be really careful with stopping at Elkhorn. You have to stop 3 meters before a red, approaching a signal as slow as possible. Oh my lord, we're not going to make it, are we? Oh, please stop, please, please, please. I'm taking a gamble. I ain't risking it. I'm scared. I don't want to get it wrong. I don't care if it takes us 100 days. Oh, there's a red there. That's okay. It's got nothing to worry about. Oh no, that's a point. Yeah, silly devil. It's a switch. Right, we're going to take it slow. Slow and steady wins the race. I am not going to bottle this time. Cut it out. Cut back in. There we are. Let the brake pressure gauge rise. I'll just check. See if that switch is in the correct position. Where is the red then? So there's a red there. There's a red there, and there's a red there. Oh, okay, maybe the red, unless the red is literally right where the marker point is. Let me get out and have a look. Look at that lovely landscape. Looks very nice. Is there a red here? Is that a red? No, that's a signal. Signal. Stupid idiot I am. A junction switch. Losing my mind, I swear to God. Oh, then where is the... That's a automated point. That must be the red... There. Signal. Or red board. I presume that's what we've got to cruise to. Alright, well, let's approach it then. Well, we'll try to. May take a while, but I'd rather approach slow and steady and win the race rather than go fast and furious and not win the race. Pool house, okay, you're like me, I'll never use it either. Not interested in that. I feel 100% no disrespect to those who like it. Yeah, I mean, it's just not. I have no artistic prowess, if you like. Never have been. Never was good at. I wasn't even good at art at school or anything like that. Terrible at drawing. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to be terrible and rubbish at making liveries and in the game. Scenario Planner just doesn't interest me because yeah, it just doesn't. Might want to save the game just in case. I'm confident Crazy Dash I'll be okay, but Don't worry, you can hold me accountable if I get it wrong. That's for sure. I am confident that I can get it right. I've got it right before, I will try and get it right again. Only thing this time is I've got... well, people are watching me do it live, and I don't want to make a mess of it. But it's going to take a while for the brake pressure to get up for starters. So... I'm going to play the waiting game for a moment. I'll take a look at my notifications. Something popped up regarding Twitter. Twitter. What have we got? FIFA announces sanctions against Russia. Ooh, okay. Let's have a look at that. FIFA is the soccer world's governing body. What's that then? FIFA orders Russia not to play... ooh, under the national flag. Wow, okay. It's interesting. FIFA has told Russia to complete the upcoming games in neutral territory. Wow, under the name the Football or Soccer Union of Russia without their flag and anthem. Wow. Several nations announced they refused to play Russia, including England, Wales, as well as Poland, the Czech Republic and Sweden. Wow. Well, it's needed. The sooner that conflict ends, the better. Excuse me language, but it's bloody heartbreaking. Seeing what's happening in Ukraine. It's absolutely terrible. I have a friend I know that's in Kiev. Or Kiev. A friend I've known for, well, it'll be 10 years this year actually. That I met when I was first introduced to the National Youth Theatre in 2012. It was like an acting, performing arts kind of thing. Yeah, met her. Lovely person. Obviously she was a bit younger back then, like myself. Just exited secondary school then, and yeah, became good friends. Kept in touch, seen each other now and again. And yeah, and the only way I've been keeping in touch with her is by Instagram. And literally, like, I can't stop thinking about her, you know, like thinking like, Christ, you know, her family or her could be dead, you know. It's a horrendous feeling. So yeah, I kept in touch with her. I asked her, are you safe? And he said, yeah, they're hiding at home. And then you just see these photographs on the news, you know, my apartment building got hit yesterday or today by a missile, and you just think, oh my lord, is it my friend in Kiev? I mean, like, my God, it's awful. I can't stop thinking about it. It's awful, absolutely dreadful. You know, normal lives, you know, it's just, I don't know what is wrong with Russia. Yeah, I'm not gonna get into it. I've thought about it enough times, you know. I'm worried about it as it is for my friend there. So, you know, she's there with her family in a family home, whether it's in the basement or something. I don't know. I didn't ask, but she said they're safe, and literally all she said. Hang on, let me get it up. Let me get it up. Message, yeah. I got in touch with her on, it was on Thursday actually. Oh no, not, is it Tuesday? Yeah, Thursday, and just sent my blessings to her and her family. I contacted her yesterday. It was the only way I could contact her was via Instagram, because I think the signal there, I think, is very poor. So I presume they're either in the basement or the telecommunication systems have been massively cut off. And I asked her, I said, please tell me if you and your family are alive even. And she said, yes, don't worry, for now we're hiding at home. We can just pray. It's just absolutely terrible. flipping scary, you know. It's just terrible. I wish I could go there and help, but I can't, can I? So it's like being a sitting duck. I was tempted to do a ridiculous thing and go to Poland and see if I could meet her up at the Polish border, but just to get to the Polish border from Kiev to the Polish border is almost an impossible task. I mean, even the railways there, they are being completely overwhelmed. The amount of people trying to escape is, not good. Anyway, let's focus on this task at hand, which is trying to get to this location of a stopping point. I wish Dovetail didn't put this stupid stopping mark right next to, if not level with, this red signal. It's ridiculous. They should have put it back sooner. Never mind. Let's have a look. Thierry Jenkins have made 3 scenarios for the Creators Club. Awesome. Putin needs to realize that Ukraine is not Russia. Absolutely. Crazy National, we could do is pray we do not get into nuclear war. Well, we'll see what happens. I hope not, but you know, if desperate times call for desperate measures, then so be it. If it's to make Russia recognize that Ukraine isn't for the taking, then I suppose is what we have to do. But I hope that does not happen. Poor house, Putin won't last long. Watch. I hope you're right. That's for sure. I hope so. Terry Jacobs is bad that NATO isn't doing anything. Well, I mean, they kind of are doing something. They're sending in weapons. I think Germany recently sent some anti-aircraft missiles or some sort of weaponry and equipment. But the problem is, because Ukraine is not a NATO-signed country, even though they want to be, the paperwork wasn't signed or the contract wasn't signed or whatever, they are not part of NATO. So armies in like the US or Germany or France or England or the UK, you name it, they legally cannot bring in their troops to Ukraine. They can bring them to other countries that surround Ukraine, apart from Belarus, because they're a bunch of idiots. That's all they can do. They can only bring troops to the closest NATO countries that are near Ukraine. They can't actually bring them in unless Ukraine has signed a document, or their president or whatever, their members of government signed the contract that allows Ukraine to become a NATO nation. Then we're stuck. They can't break the rules. They cannot just let the armies just wander in and save the day. It would be nice if they could do that, but we can't. And that's the truth of it. So it's a difficult situation. This is why really Russia went to basically try to take over Ukraine, is because they didn't want Ukraine to join NATO, because they feared of some threat to intelligence or something, national intelligence or security intelligence, which I think is an absolute load of rubbish. Russia's one of the biggest countries in the world, and the fact that they fear Ukraine because of them joining NATO, I mean, my God, they need to get over themselves. Absolutely terrible. Right, how long is this taking, this brake pressure? 56 now. Come on, brake pressure, load up. I could try and accelerate it a little bit. Let's put on a bit of throttle, see if that does anything. Poor house spray, you can go now, look at your distance. I know, but I've got to get the brake pressure up a bit, at least above 55 or something like that. Right, take it nice and easy. Nice and easy. I don't know why I'm using the independent brake, but there we are. I'm going to whack it on anyway, because I can, even though it's not doing anything. Ah, put on the brakes. I'm frightened. Brake, 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 brake. Please, 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 no. No, failed. Oh, damn it. Never mind. I knew something was going to go wrong. I didn't press it. I thought I pressed the emergency brake, but I pressed the suppression. Never mind. Oh well, never mind. There we are, Crazy Dash. You could now say that I should have saved it, but I was wrong. Never mind. Never mind. I should have used it, yeah. I completely forgot about the dynamic brakes. I'm so used to using the train brake or the independent brake on other routes, I forgot about the dynamic brakes, to be honest, but never mind. Oh well. Ended in failure, but never mind. Oh well, it's a bit of a laugh at the end, I suppose. There we are. Oh well. I had a funny end to it, I suppose. Never mind. Well, there we are. That concludes the stream. Obviously not what I wanted to go. I wanted to do 2 runs in the Clinchfield Railroad, and I couldn't even finish 1. There we are. Well, I hope you enjoyed this stream on the Clinchfield Railroad. Of course, as always, the stream will be re-uploaded to the channel, mercifully for me. Unfortunately, it means my embarrassment, my failure, will be available to the World Wide Web for everyone to see, which is not good. So yeah, you can watch the stream back as many times as you like, and with the live chat re-enabled, of course. In terms of the next stream, it will be tomorrow, same time, 8:30 p.m. UK time, where we will be taking a trip to Germany to have a little bit of fun on Hauptstrecke Hamburg to Lübeck. So I hope you can join me then. Yeah, again, should be good fun, and hopefully in that stream I will be successful compared to tonight's stream. But anyway, I'd just like to say thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and if I don't see you tomorrow or hear from you tomorrow, then you know, you can't hear from me. I can't hear from you. What am I saying? Anyway, if you can't be available for the stream tomorrow, then have a very good week. And as always, I will see you next time. Thank you very much. Take care.